They know exactly where to strike. A toxic attack rarely announces itself. It arrives as a sudden text message that makes your stomach drop, a backhanded compliment in a meeting, or a gaslighting spiral that makes you question your own sanity. In that moment, your heart races, your logic shuts down. You are under siege. Most people react with emotion, which is exactly what the dark psychologist wants. They feed on your chaos. But you will do something different. You will engage the emergency protocols. Today, we are downloading the 5 crisis response systems of the Stoics, mental firewalls designed to neutralize manipulation instantly. Welcome to the Stoic Way. We're not here to discuss philosophy as a parlor game. We are here for shadow work. When you are dealing with narcissists, Machiavellians, or emotionally unstable manipulators, you are in a theater of war. Dark psychology relies on one specific mechanism, bypassing your reason to hijack your emotions. Once they trigger fear, guilt, or anger, they own you. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, lived in times of tyranny, betrayal, and lethal court politics. They didn't just write quotes, they built an operating system for survival. They called it the inner citadel, a fortress of the mind that no external force can breach without your permission. In this video, we are breaking down the 5 emergency Stoic protocols. These are not theoretical, these are tactical responses to stop a psychological attack dead in its tracks. The first phase of any toxic attack is the provocation. The manipulator throws a hook, an insult, a false accusation, or a crisis they've manufactured. Your biological instinct is to defend yourself immediately. You want to explain, you want to fight back, you want to fix it. Stop. Protocol 1 is the pause of judgment. Epictetus taught us that it is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them. When the attack hits, do not speak, do not type, do not react. You must insert a buffer zone between the stimulus and your response. In a crisis, your amygdala, the fear center, hijacks your brain. You are chemically incapable of logic for several seconds. The Stoic response is to delay assent. Say to yourself, internally, this is an impression and not the truth. If they are screaming, let the sound hang in the air. If they send a wall of text, put the phone face down. That silence, that is your shield. It disrupts their rhythm. They expect resistance, you give them nothingness. By pausing, you deny them the emotional fuel they need to ignite the conflict. You are reclaiming your sovereignty over the timeline. You are not a puppet dancing on their strings. You are the rock the wave breaks against. Once you have paused, the second phase begins. Dark psychology relies on narrative spinning. This is gaslighting. They tell you that you're crazy, that you're too sensitive, that you are the problem. They wrap the event in layers of emotional adjectives to distort reality. Protocol 2 is objective perception. Marcus Aurelius practiced a technique called stripping the legend. When he looked at expensive purple robes, he told himself, "This is just sheep's wool dyed with shellfish blood." He stripped away the value judgments to see the raw matter. You must do the same to their words. Strip the narrative. If they say, "You always ruin everything, you're so selfish," the emotional translation is a dagger to the heart. The Stoic translation is, "This person is emitting sounds from their mouth. They are expressing a subjective opinion about a situation. Their volume is elevated." Do not add your own story to their attack. Do not think, "They don't respect me." That is an addition. Stick to the raw data. They are angry. They are using manipulative language. When you view the attack clinically, like a doctor observing a patient's symptoms, the poison cannot enter your bloodstream. You are no longer a victim, you are an observer of their pathology.
Now that you see the attack clearly, you must choose your emotional stance. Toxic people use hot and cold cycles. They alternate between affection and abuse to keep you unstable. They want you desperate for their validation. Protocol 3 is the wall of indifference, or what the Stoics called apatheia. This is not laziness, it is equanimity. It is the refusal to be enslaved by passions. Seneca warned that anger is a temporary madness. When you get angry at a manipulator, you are handing them the remote control to your mind. You are signaling that they matter. The countermove is strategic indifference. In modern psychology, this is the gray rock method, but the Stoics mastered it centuries ago. You become boring. You become unreactive. You become as interesting as a gray rock. If they try to guilt trip you, your response is a neutral, "I understand you feel that way." No defense, no counterattack, just a flat, clinical acknowledgement. You are withdrawing your consent to be harmed. Imagine their words are wind blowing through an empty house. There is nothing there to catch the debris. By starving them of the drama, you force them to look for supply elsewhere. You are not fighting them. You are rendering their weapons obsolete. We move now to the core of the defense. The manipulator's goal is coercion, to force you to do what they want through fear or obligation. They try to make you responsible for their happiness, their anger, or their life. Protocol 4 is the dichotomy of authority. This is the central pillar of Epictetus's Enchiridion. Some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us. In a crisis, you must ruthlessly divide the battlefield. What is up to you? Your character, your boundaries, your reaction. What is not up to you? Their opinion of you, their past trauma, their lies, the outcome of their smear campaign. When you try to control their behavior by begging them to understand or trying to fix them, you are stepping into enemy territory unarmed. You will lose. Instead, retreat into what you control. If they threaten to leave, let them. That is their choice. If they spread rumors, let them. That is their reputation, not yours. You focus entirely on your conduct. Did you act with integrity? Did you hold your boundary? Good. That is the only victory that matters. This radical acceptance of their behavior destroys their leverage. You cannot be blackmailed if you are willing to lose everything except your own virtue. Sometimes the attack is overwhelming. The walls feel like they're closing in. The anxiety is suffocating. When the logic of the first 4 protocols isn't enough, you need the ultimate perspective shift. Protocol 5 is the view from above. This was a favorite exercise of Marcus Aurelius. When he felt the weight of the empire crushing him, he would zoom out. He would imagine the earth as a tiny point in the cosmos. He would visualize armies as ants fighting over a crumb. When a toxic person is destroying your peace, zoom out. Look at them from the perspective of the universe. In the grand scheme of time, this crisis is a blink of an eye. This person who seems so powerful, so terrifying, they are dust. They are a frightened, temporary biological organism acting out a script of insecurity. Why let a speck of dust destroy your inner citadel? This perspective doesn't mean you don't care. It means you size the threat correctly. It shrinks the monster back down to a man. It reminds you that you have endured before and you will endure this. The crisis is small. Your mind is vast. These protocols are not just ideas. They are weapons. Pause the judgment. Strip the narrative. Build the wall of indifference. Focus on your control. Zoom out. The next time the chaos arrives,
Do not panic. You have the training. You have the system. Stand your ground. If you are ready to master the darker side of Stoic psychology and build a mind that cannot be broken, subscribe to the Stoic way. Turn on notifications. The world is getting louder. You need to get stronger.